What's going on, world? It's your boy Holiday Zay with Let's Talk Ship. We are going to discuss something that I feel a lot of people fail to do before booking their cruise. And in this video, I'm going to share the pros because I really can't think of any cons when it comes to this method of booking, this method before booking your actual cruise. And I'm going to also share the negative things that people tend to say and or try to do when they fail to utilize this method before their own vacation. So stick around and I'll be happy to share this method. Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, do your boy a favor and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, we are going to discuss something that I have spoke about several times before in the far past and recent past. This is something that you don't want to do, that you do want to do before booking your cruise. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is simply researching the ship or ships before you actually book it. Now, some people may say, oh, well, that's not a big deal. I don't see what's the point in that. Here, let me share. Right out the gate, I'm going to tell you that a lot of people, and probably even you, book your cruise vacation based off of price. If you have a budget, that's totally understandable, okay? I get it. The economy is hard for a lot of people. However, this is the problem. You book the cruise based on price and you fail to do any type of research or extensive research about the cruise vacation / ship that you just invested in, right? Once you get on board, you get on there and it's nothing like the other type of ships that you have probably seen along the way of your embarkation day. You might have seen a video of a particular ship that has a roller coaster, right? And you get on one and you ain't got nothing but a tail fan and a sports court. And you go back there asking people, well, where's the roller coaster? The one that I've seen on my YouTube, on my TikTok page, it had a roller coaster. Sir, ma'am, you completely booked the wrong ship. You didn't research before you booked. No, I just assumed that they all had the roller coaster. No, they do not. This is why researching before you book is very, very essential. At least in my book, it is. You know, for other people and other travel agents, I don't know their methods. I don't. That's them. Mine's, I'm going to tell you to research the ship before you book it, right? If you book it and then tend to research it and see what all it has to offer, okay, cool. But by that time, it's too late. And depending on what type of offer you got when you booked it, you might not get a refund on your deposit to transfer, you know, or just cancel it and book somewhere else. I don't know, whatever you choose to do. But nevertheless, it is essential to research your ship before you actually book it. A lot of people, when they do that, they know where their money is going. Okay, and I want to give you guys an analogy. Women, you do research on, let's say, purses. Fellas, let's say you do research on, I don't know, some Jordans or some tools, whatever the case, something outside of travel you do your research on because you want your money to go somewhere and you want to get your money's worth. Or better yet, let's use your son or your daughter, right? Let's say that your son and or daughter want something and it's very, very expensive. I need everybody to follow what I'm about to say because it's going to click after this. Your son or your daughter wants something very expensive, right? And obviously they don't have a job to pay for it. They're asking you because you're the one with the money. You're the ATM, right? Right. So when they tell you, hey mom, hey dad, I need and or want this, and you ask them what it is, they tell you what it is, and when you ask, well, how much is it? And they tell you how much it is. And you look at them like they done lost their mind. And you start asking questions. Well, what all does it do for that price? It better do this. It better do that. If I'm paying this type of money, because I'm not about to waste my money on this or that if it doesn't do this or that. That's absurd. That's insane. I work hard for my money. I'm not about to put my money on something like that and I ain't gonna get my money's worth, or it ain't got no value to it, blah, 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 blah. Y'all see where I'm going with that? So you'll question your own kids about where your money's going, but when it comes to your cruise vacation, you just paying for a cruise vacation. You ain't concerned about where your money going specifically. Because then, like I said earlier, you get on the ship and you feel as if you didn't get what you paid for. Well, actually, you went into it blind. You don't know what you paid for. Now, let's go back to your son or your daughter. You just bought this thing and it doesn't do what you thought it did. Because now you go to your son or your daughter and you're like, well, I paid all this money. I thought it was supposed to do this. I thought it was supposed to do that. How come it costs X, Y, Z or X amount of dollars and it don't do this? It should at least do this. It should at least do that if I'm paying all this money. Well, had you actually did your own research or research in general, you might have known where your money was going and what you were actually buying. Yeah. Y'all see how that goes very well together? That's what a lot of you guys do out there in the cruise community, is that you book based off of price and you don't know where your money's going. Oh, your money's going towards a cruise, yes, but what value from that particular cruise ship are you getting? Because you're about to walk into a whole attitude and don't even realize it yet. You're about to get back to your stateroom or get back home and go on this huge rant. And then what you're going to do, is tell the whole social media world, anyone who comes across your video, why they shouldn't book that ship. The audacity of you to get on your social media platform and tell me or hundreds of thousands of other people why not to book a ship when you didn't even go in there, when you didn't even take the time to learn why you booked that ship. You booked it based off of price. You didn't book it because it had a certain restaurant. You didn't book it because it had certain activities and events. You didn't book it. You just booked it because the price looked good. You see how that's a problem now after the fact? You wasting all that energy on something that was technically your fault. And now you're trying to tell other people to be upset with you and not to book that. Well, guess what? Other people, there's a bunch of other people who have already experienced that ship and they love it. Probably because they knew what they were getting themselves into. Why? Because they did their research before they booked it. Yeah. I want to give you guys 3 things that you should do or what you should look for when you before you book. Okay, I got 3 things I want to share with you guys. When you get on YouTube and you have your eye or your eyes on a said ship, this is what you do. Number 1, check the date of the upload. Okay, there may be videos or video of the ship that you have your eyes on, and the last update, last video posted was from a year ago or 2 years ago. You don't know what could have happened within that last year or last 2 years. You want to look for the most recent video or videos of that ship because you want the most recent. It's as simple as that. You want the most recent video, that way you can see what it currently looks like. Number 2, find out if it has went through dry dock for upgrades. Okay, this is pretty much like, I don't want to say refurbishment, but simply upgrade. They may, paint, take some things out and put some new updated things in. They might add a restaurant, they might add a ride, some attractions, they might add new rooms or new features to the stateroom to enhance your overall experience. This is one of the main reasons for a ship that dry docks. Anytime people who are veterans in the cruise community, once they hear that a cruise ship is going into dry dock, some people get excited because they know, okay, change is coming, upgrades are coming, additions to the ship is coming. And some ships that go into dry dock is kind of like, yeah, that was cool. And then the other ships that go into dry dock, like, yo, they're excited and they book it because of those upgrades and those new features that the cruise line adds to that particular ship. And number 3, find out if what it offers will satisfy you. That is very, very important, because there's no sense in investing your money into something that's not going to satisfy you, that's not going to make you happy, right? Think about your relationships in the past. Yeah, I took that turn. I sure did. I went there. Think about those relationships that you were in the past, and going in, you probably already knew that he or she wasn't gonna make you happy, but you just wanted to find out for yourself. And then you went and run to your homeboys or your homegirls mad that they did X, Y, Z, when you already had the feeling that they wasn't about that anyway, right? But you just had to test it, and you can't be mad at nobody but yourself, because at the end of the day, you had an inkling that you already knew better, but you still went out there because you grown, right? You grown, and you did what you did, and there's no sense of trying to make them sound worse than what they already were, which you already knew that. No, what you need to do is take accountability, which that's a big word for a lot of people, and a huge action to claim. Okay, we're not gonna take that route, but you get what I'm saying. Take accountability for booking the ship that you did no research on and having a so-called bad experience. It's not that the ship was a bad experience. No, you made a bad decision. That's what happened with that. And you pretty much forced a negative review upon yourself. Now, granted, yes, the ship may have bad things. It might be old. Some ships may smell, depending on which ship you get on. Okay, we all know a certain ship that kind of smell funky, but we're not gonna get into that, right? And that's one of the reasons why I don't think I would ever book that cruise ship, okay? Because I don't want to know what that smells like. So research is very, very critical, and it's essential. Now, let me share with you guys why the pro of doing research, right? Because when you do research, fix my head on this one. Because there are certain things that you obviously don't know, especially if you're new. Okay, this is why I tell people don't book solely on price. Now, price might be a factor, but just dig in and see what's out there, because you booked a cruise, or you're planning on booking a cruise a year out. You might find something that's more expensive, but it's worth extending it one additional year, 2 years out, for you and or your family to save up the money to do those things, because it has this thing or these things on it, and you know where your money is going, and you know you're gonna get the most bang for your buck, okay? So there are some of you out there who probably didn't even know that some ships have dodgeball. Yeah. There are some of you who probably didn't even know that Norwegian Viva has a go-kart track. There are some of you who probably didn't even know that Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas has the indoor iFly skydiving attraction. There are some of you who probably didn't even know that MSC's World America has bumper cars.
MSC World America. Hey, Scotty, what? That looks like a basketball court there on the...
You see what I mean? Shout out to the people who didn't even know that these things were on cruise ships. But it's only on certain cruise ships. You can't just book a cruise based off of price and think that you're gonna book a cheap cruise and then get bumper cars. Same thing goes for a go-kart track. Believe it or not all ships have dodgeball, okay? Not all ships have the indoor skydiving attraction, okay? You have to do your research to find these things on said ships. You'll never know if you don't take the time to look into these things. And some of you may say, oh my gosh, but I don't have that type of time. Well, okay, I'm just gonna throw myself out there and other people out there because some people might not like my personality and how I get down. But I'm a travel agent, and it is my job to look into things that you and or your kids might find fun, that you might want to do while you're on your cruise. So if that's the case, I'll research the ships that have fun things like that on them, and then I'll come back to you and let you know, like, hey, I found this ship, it has this, it has that. You have two sons, I think you would like this, I think they would like that. And we go from there. If you don't have the time or you simply just don't want to do it, but you see how valuable it is to either A, do the research on your own, or B, take the time to shop around for a good travel agent. Not just a travel agent, but a good travel agent. Now, I ain't saying I'm perfect. I ain't saying I'm the best. I'm probably the most childish travel agent that you can come across out here, okay? I have fun, okay? I'm a big kid. I have fun. I love what I do. So, again, that's probably like the 8th time I've said it. It's essential to do research before booking your cruise. A person may go on a cruise that you're watching on social media, and let's say you like that person. It's like, oh, that person did this. I want to follow in their footsteps. I want to do it too. But you don't know anything about this ship. And they don't really give you a walkthrough tour when they do a vlog, or when they just simply talk about it. They talk about their experience, like in a post-cruise review or something like that. And they say the name of said ship, and then you go and do your research. You watch multiple different content creators' perspectives on this ship that your favorite cruise content creator went on and or talked about, and you start seeing the ship, and you start hearing different versions of the ship, and then you find out that either there are things on there that you don't like / care for, or you don't like the size of it. You don't like the color of it. Whatever it may be, you might see some things from different perspectives that you might not like. That's why it's essential to do your own research, and why, listening to someone else, it could hinder you, or it could make or break your decision when booking your cruise. Like, oh man, John Doe said to do this one. Well, I'm gonna look into that one. But you already going into it knowing that you want to go because John Doe said, hey, this is it. But then you look into it like, nah, that ain't for me. That ain't my flavor. That ain't my taste, right? That's why there's a bunch of different alcoholic beverages, a bunch of different wine selections. Every wine, every beer, every bottle of hard liquor is not going to be for everyone. There's options. Just because your best friend drink this don't mean you drink it too. Y'all go to a bar and y'all drink 2 totally different colors of wine or 2 totally different things of liquor. Still your best friend though. You gonna see what I'm saying? Do your own research. Stay in your own lane. Be your own person. Give your reviews. That's not a problem. But give the correct and honest review based off of doing it right from the start. And that is doing your research before you go on your cruise, knowing what you're getting yourself into. That will make your review much more authentic and genuine when someone else hears it, because now they're going to know that, okay, this person did their research and they knew what they were getting themselves into. Like when I booked, which one was it? I can't even remember which ship it was. it was something it didn't have on it. I can't remember, but I know it was a ship that it didn't have something on it. But I was okay with that. Why? Because I was excited about something else. I know I was excited about where the ship was going and something else the ship had that balanced it out to where it made it okay for me to book that, although it didn't have that one thing that I was looking forward to, but it had other things to make up for it. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I can do without that because it comes with this and it's going to these places. I was fine. So that's how you see that balance. There's a balance. And once you see, okay, it doesn't have this, but it does come with this and it does go to these places, it makes up the difference and it makes it okay. That way, when you do go on that cruise and you give your review, you can tell people like, I went on this cruise and I wanted to go because I was hoping that it had this, but it didn't, and they lose points for that. But it did have this, it did have that, and it went to those places, and that's why I still booked it, because it balanced it out and it made them not having this okay for me. You see, the delivery is a whole lot different when you know it doesn't have something going into it versus getting there and being surprised and being upset and just making an all-out bad review about the ship overall and then telling people not to go, okay? So that's all for that. The reason why I say do not book a cruise until you do this is for all the reasons I just told you. I don't want anyone to go on a cruise and have a bad experience. I want you to go knowing what you're getting yourself into and have the best cruise vacation experience of your life. I hope this video found you well. I hope you found this video informative and to actually help you when it comes to booking your next cruise. Or again, I'm a travel agent, and if you want your boy to help you out and assist you on your next cruise vacation, all you got to do is email me. My email information will be down in the description below. So you already know, man, always, always, always be grateful and embrace the day. And until next time, peace.